Hi everyone, Billy is my name and I am Virgil's best man. I'm very sorry I was unable to attend the wedding. However, I'm delighted with digital technology that I can still be part of the wedding in some way. If you look behind me here, there's a swing set. And Virgil and I go way back. I first met Virgil on that swing set 30 years ago. And from the very first point that I met Virgil, he was someone who was extremely unique and he really stood out to me. Virgil was doing these incredible backflips off the swing, and there was like a crowd of like 10 or 15 kids who were all 8 or 9 years old, and we were all just in awe of Virgil and his ability to do these backflips off the swing. And it's just one of my favorite memories of Virgil. It's the first time I ever met him was here 30 years ago when I first arrived from Ireland. And Virgil and I developed a really deep friendship, and I'm really grateful of that. And Virgil is an incredible guy, and there's some unique things about Virgil that I feel, because I have the advantage of using digital technology, I can reveal to all of you at the wedding. I think Giselle's family and friends and colleagues and everyone involved from Giselle's side of the family needs to know everything about Virgil. So I'm going to take you on a little tour and show you some of the things Virgil got up to in his childhood. Hey guys, it's me again. So this is where Virgil and I went to high school, and Giselle, I just thought I would let you know about how caring Virgil is. He really cares for his friends, and he's very supportive. And Virgil helped me get through high school, actually. And there was a time where I kind of fell behind on my final exams to graduate. And this is where my auto shop class was. And so I called Virgil one night and I said, "Hey Virgil, I need some help. I have an exam in the morning and I haven't studied for it. I think I'm going to fail it. I might not graduate." So Virgil had a great idea. Virgil came here with me the night before, and this lock here, we put super glue in it, and we put some paper clips into the lock, and there's some super glue, and then so when we all turned up for our final exams the next morning, the teacher was here and he couldn't get in the door. And we didn't have to do our final exam, so I got a whole extra week to study for my final exam. So this is just one of the really great characteristics about Virgil that I think you guys should all know about. He's just really caring and supportive. Hi guys, so this is the Commons area at Santamon High School. And there's a really good story I can tell you about Virgil here as well that just shows more of his character about caring for people and just being concerned for his fellow students. So during final exam week, you know, everybody's really stressed out and everyone's studying hard and there's a lot of anxiety and some people are depressed, and you know, it's a rough time during school. So Virgil had a great idea about something he could do that would bring some excitement back into school and kind of make people happy again. So Virgil went to the pet shop and he bought like 10 or 15 mice and he put them all in his backpack. And I actually remember him telling me the story that he had to sit his first final exam that morning and the mice were squeaking in his backpack and he was like punching his backpack to keep them quiet during class during the final exam. But anyway, after the first final exam, we all came into this area and there was like 300-400 students here in this area. And Virgil opened up the backpack and let the mice loose, and they ran everywhere and they were climbing on people's legs and girls were screaming and there was absolute pandemonium. But this is just a great example of how, you know, during a horrible time of like final exams where everyone is like depressed and not happy, Virgil can bring so much excitement to the scene. Okay, I promise this is my last story, but right here behind me is the principal's office, and Virgil was in the principal's office quite a lot during high school, probably more than anyone in the whole entire school. But I just think it's important to kind of draw out something about Virgil. He really loves gifts and receiving gifts and giving gifts. It seems to be like his love language. And so one day he decided, I think it was near the last day of school before summer break, I think Virgil decided that he wanted to give the principal a gift. And so we went into the office together, and Virgil and I had been fishing the weekend before, and Virgil had this big trout. And so we snuck in here, and outside the principal's office he had a little kind of letter box. So Virgil took the trout and he put it into the letter box for the principal, and he left it there. And I later heard that there was a big investigation that went on at the high school with the custodians and a lot of different people, and they were trying to figure out who did that. They never found out. But I'm sure if the principal found out that Virgil was the one that gave him that trout, he'd be really grateful and thankful to Virgil for how caring he is and how special of a gift that was. So thank you, Virgil. I really learned a lot from you about giving gifts. I gave the gift of fish to lots of people over the years, and that was something I learned from you. So thank you for that. Okay guys, this is the last clip. I don't want to take up any more of your time, so no more stories about Virgil. I'm sorry, I'm sure some of you are disappointed. But you can always email me if you want to know more stories about Virgil. I can tell you some pretty cool stories by email. So yeah, Giselle, I just wanted to say I'm just so happy that you and Virgil found each other. You are absolutely the woman of his dreams. And you know, I've just observed how kind you are, and patient and sweet and hardworking. And your faith in God and your steadfastness in your Christian faith is truly admirable, and I couldn't have hoped for a better wife for my best friend. So I say that, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And Virgil, you know, your friendship to me means the world, and you've helped me so much in my life. Some of you here at the wedding won't know the story, but I ended up in a dark place in my life with drinking too much alcohol and taking drugs and different things like that, and just went down a dark path. And Virgil was this kind of loyal friend who always stayed at my side, never gave up on me, never lost hope, never got annoyed, never lost his patience, and just constantly tried to help me and tried to bring me to church and tried to bring me to Christ. And later I did come to Christ, and I haven't had that issue that I used to have for 17 years. I'm completely drug and alcohol free, haven't even smoked a cigarette, and Virgil was instrumental in that happening in my life. And so yeah, Virgil, I really appreciate you. And I suppose moving on to the topic of your marriage, just some advice I would give. It's quite simple. I think the Bible gives the perfect advice in the greatest commandments. Number 1, love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. If you guys do this, if you guys practice this in your own personal lives, and if you guys do this together, loving Christ with your whole mind, heart, and soul, making Him your sole focus together, everything else will work out. But if you drift from that, things will get hard. So my number 1 piece of advice is love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and do this together. Never let go of this. This is the number 1 thing that will keep you together. Number 2, love your neighbor as yourself. So Virgil, Giselle is your neighbor, and Giselle, Virgil is your neighbor. So love each other as you would love yourself. And I'm married 8 years, and I know it's hard to do that at times. And that's why it's important to stay in God's Word daily and meditate on the Scriptures and constantly just stay in that place near to God. If you do these things, you will have a successful marriage. Okay guys, I'm going to end it with this, and I wish you all at the wedding a really good time and a great time of dancing and partying. And I'm so sad I can't be there. Have a great night.